Hey guys, what's up? DeRaze here, back with another tutorial, and in this video we'll be talking about the reduce method, which is applicable on arrays. So as of now, as you can see in the last few videos, we see that all of them are applicable on arrays. So I mentioned this in one of the videos before, but I'll mention it again, so do not worry if at all you want to learn about how to apply these on objects or other data structures, because we have other frameworks ready for us with which we can use our functional programming paradigms. So anyways, let's get started with reduce method. So this is applicable on an array. So open up JS Fiddle so that you can learn with an example, a small example as usual, so that you get it ingrained in your minds how reduce works and how you can play around with it. So let's get started. The first sentence over here says that an array method used to reduce the elements of an array to one single value. So that's it. Reduce method does one single calculation on all the elements in such a way that you get a final output of one single number. So what reduce does is that the whole array has a lot of values, let's say 100 values. So you operate on them, let it be an addition, a multiplication, or other complicated functions. So you evaluate the whole array to pass out one particular value. And the second statement says that it's a pure function. So as usual, as with the last two methods that we have learned, it's a pure function. That means that you don't have to worry about your array getting lost or getting manipulated. So you can happily use this method and also ensure that your array is safe. And that means that the output is given out into a new array which you can create and name as you wish. So the third sentence says that the return value is stored in an accumulator as a result. So we'll be talking about the accumulator. I'll show it to you in the example below. So there is an accumulator that keeps adding the values or keeps storing the values. If at all it is an addition, it's all about adding values. If it is product, then it's all about multiplying. So we'll be seeing that in the example down below. So fourth one says that the execution is done for each value from left to right. So remember this, guys, it happens from left to right only. So syntax is arr.reduce, and then we send a callback, and an initial value is optional, which you can see in the square brackets, which you obviously won't be giving. The square brackets are not given in the start. That is only for for you to understand. So anyways, parameters involved are callback, accumulator, currentValue, currentIndex, array, and initialValue. So the array is the array that you'll be passing, the array on which you want this reduce to be applied. InitialValue is optional, as I was saying, and we'll be seeing what it is. As you can see in the code below, there is 0. I'll talk about that while explaining the example. Callback is the function that says what to do with the elements, each element, how to operate on them. Accumulator, as I told you, accumulates all the values and stores them so that it will give out the final answer. currentValue is the value that is being operated on. Like if you have 1, so it starts with 1 and starts operating from there. And the currentIndex is the index of the value that is being operated on. So we can say that it is the index of the current value. So anyways, we also have a return value over here. As you can see, return statement, it returns the value, and initial value is optional, as I was saying. And the ninth and last point says that but it is safer to provide an initial value because random outputs can be avoided if the array is empty. So let's say sometimes you pass a lot of 1,000 arrays and a few of the arrays tend to be 0. Sometimes the system does not know what to do with it, whether to give out not a number sequence, or whether to give 0, or whether to give an infinity or minus infinity. And in such cases it is always better that you supply an initial value so that the computer does not make any error. So anyways, that's it for the summary, guys. Let's get going with our example down below. I'll be explaining what to do with what. So as usual, we have an array variable called nums, in which we have 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have injected two statements into two different division elements. As you can see over here, HTML division elements, box 2 and box 3 are their IDs, and as you can see we have a very small script over here which is the reduce method. So what is happening is that there is another array called reduce array, so let's call it reduced array. So it is being the nums is being passed into it, as I showed you in the syntax over here in this 5th point. So reduce is being passed in, and we have our callback function. It's a function of x and y. I'm sorry, I was playing with the functions, so there was a z over there. You can play with a z value as well, but so far I do not understand what it will give you. Anyway, so let's see only with x and y values. You can name them whatever you would like to, because this is an anonymous function and you can use local variables as you like. If not local variables, they are called the arguments, so you can give them whatever you would like to. So let's say you can give it a and b as well, and over here you will return a plus b. Alright, so as you can see we have a return statement over here which returns the value of a plus b. And as you can see, after the braces there is a comma followed by our 0. So comma is, as you can see over here, it is there after the callback, and we can send an initial value as usual. So the initial value over here I'm putting it as 0. So let's see what happens. Let me run it. So mind you guys, we'll be getting two lines of statements. We'll be getting a reduced array as well as the nums array, and this is to show you that it's a pure function and it does not manipulate the original function but creates a new array. Alright, so I've run it. So as you can see we have 10 over here, and 10 is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, so we have the value of 10. So what is being done is over here is that the whole array nums is being reduced to one single value, and it is dependent on what we pass in the return function, which is our callback function. If I say a star b, so we see that we get a 0. That is because we have an initial value of 0. So instead, if I put it as 1, so we can see we get 24. That's because 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24. What is happening over here is that when I have 0, the whole multiplication is starting from 0. From 0 it is multiplying 1 by 2 by 3 by 4. So anyways, since it is 0 times anything is 0, so we have 0 at the end. So in such situations you need to take care of what you're dealing with. So 0 is an additive identity, so you can use 0 over here, but you have to use 1 in case of multiplication. So similarly you can work around with several other things, guys. Let's say a star. So what happens is that each element over here is multiplied twice. So we have 576 over here, so you can go ahead and check out what is happening over there and if it is right or wrong. So for now what I'll be doing is I'll put it up as a plus let's say 2 times b. So let's see what happens, and the initial value will be having it as 0. Alright, so as you can see we have a plus 2 times b, which will be 1 plus 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 2 times 3 is 6. So 4 plus 6 will be 10, and 10 plus alright, so 1 plus 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 6 will be 11, 11 plus 8 will be 19, and the initial one will be 0 times alright, so I'm getting confused over here. So we need to do a bit more close calculation. I need to study it, so I'll get back to you on this. Give me 1 sec. Alright guys, as you can see, once I've removed the value of 0 over there, we are getting 19, which is what should happen. So that was what I was getting. So as you can see, 1 plus 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 4 plus 1 will be 5, and this is going to be added with 2 times the value of 3, which is 6. 6 plus 5 will be 11, and 11 will be the whole answer for this, and 11 will be added with 2 times 4, which will be 11 plus 8, so we'll be getting 90. So as you can see, this is pretty simple. You need to just take a look. So it's pretty simple. So similarly, you can work around with several other values. So mind you that you have to give you have to be sure about whatever you're giving over here. So if you have a 0 over here, it will add 1 more to it. So that is happening because we have 0 plus 1. So that is what is happening over here. So anyways, so I'll reduce confusion by removing the initial value. So anyways, so as I was saying, this is how you work with the reduce method, guys. So go ahead, dip your fingers into it and get started, and also share your fiddles with me on your on the comments below. So your fiddles, whichever you worked on, I'll be giving a nice comment, and also I'll be telling you how I feel about what, your code, or what I think about what can be changed or what is nice and all that. Anyways guys, that's it for today. Give a thumbs up if you like the video, share it with your friends and family and whoever is into JavaScript, and also tell it with your friends about the functional programming. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.